we'll be seeing one of these two book a spot in the top 8. Was that Richard Buckley you saw in the crowd?
It might have been Richard Buckley, I don't know. Certainly the torches were out, as Buckley would say, like a Robbie Williams concert, but we are underway here.
Last time I spoke to him, he didn't sign for Team Falcons, but he might be head to toe in Team Falcons merchandise by the end of this game. Here we go then. One opportunity as well for these two to get a bit of revenge on each other. It was ManuBachoore that did not have a good start to his FC 24 campaign after being world champion. There was so much hype around him, and then he went into the FC Pro Open and didn't leave the group stages as 3.5 minutes in. He fires his first shot, a goal, quick corner to come in now. There's that front post, flick on, you knew what was going to happen. ManuBachoore leads by a goal to 0.
And AbuMakkah needs to very quickly adjust to these corners being taken a lot faster than his game against Web Nasri. ManuBachoore did just wait a second, but as soon as he saw that goalkeeper move, he was like, actually, I can get Haaland in front of him here. And, I mean, he's never going to miss that. He was in acres of space.
It's quite risky, that, as well, Dan, to move the goalkeeper out like that, especially when you know that Haaland's going to beat pretty much everybody in the box there. It was brave from AbuMakkah, but it was a risk that didn't pay off.
Well, now for AbuMakkah, he needs to be careful because Bachoore has just entered this game with meaning. A shot from Hullet from distance, and again, I encourage those shots. Get those corners. Because the other option is you just bury it, which we've seen happen in this tournament many times as well.
AbuMakkah with a chance to break now. No right back inside. So you can just see Hosselu there chasing to get back in position. Can AbuMakkah make the most of that? Still Mbappe, could have went a little bit further on his own, decided to come back instead, recycles it well with the help of Vitinha. Pull it into Bukayo Saka now. It does go down to ground, penalty shouts waved away. And it still surprises me, Dan, that there's a couple of players here that still rock the striker of Real Madrid from Spain, Hosselu, as a right back. He's not in position, but he does the job that they want him to do.
Yeah, just trying to defend against Haaland with that aerial plus as well, from those corners ideally, or from the crosses, of course. As speaking of Haaland, he plays one through.
Step over's pretty into R9. Can he turn? No, he can't. Lovely build-up, though. That pass just through the legs was perfect.
And already you can see the differences that AbuMakkah is having to face here against ManuBachoore as well. When he's attacking Bachoore against Web Nasri, there was those gaps. Web Nasri was kind of bringing defenders out. He was aggressively trying to win that ball back at times. Whereas Bachoore is kind of standing off him, allowing him to have that space and saying, you can run at me. I'll wait. Wait for that moment, and then I'll dive in at the right time.
Chance now to drive forward. Step overs are nice. Exits. Just gives a little speed boost to Mbappe, which is enough to open up this attack for Vitinha. Does he fancy a power shot? Should be a chance to still play through. There's Cruyff! And speaking of Team Falcons, there is no one else that'll be more happy to see that go into the back of the net than MS Desari is in the crowd. Team Falcons strike, and they're back in the tie.
Well, how about that for extra support, maybe even extra pressure, knowing that Desari is watching on. But this is what AbuMakkah is all about. Pass and move, looking for the extra pass, looking for the extra man, waiting for that bit of space, and then hammering it home. It's what he did so effectively against Web Nasri. And I thought maybe Bachoore wouldn't open up those gaps as much, but it just shows how good AbuMakkah is. He will find those gaps, regardless of who he's playing against here.
Just did a great job there of just stretching out the play. Might be on for a second here if he can work this one well. AbuMakkah, no headset on, he is fully immersed in this atmosphere here in the Kiddie Arena. Oh, it's brilliant there from Kai Havertz down that byline. There's the lofted ball, you know where that's going to end up. Fantastic save from Thibaut Courtois. Will parry away for a corner. That one played in so quickly. There's Haaland. Konate, believe it or not, wins the battle on that occasion. What a pass. What a pass. It deserved more. Still Kurd. Oh! That is an absolute gift for Erling Haaland. The attack before that deserved more. The pass was brilliant, but I mean, look, if the bounces are going to fall your way, take them and run.
I mean, did Bachoore give him that with a bow as well? Because you mentioned a gift, and one of the biggest gifts he might get in this game. And when we see this replay, was it just a case of Bachoore just rushing it a little bit? Maybe hammering that X button to try and get a pass away. And after Courtois had made such a good save as well here. I mean, that ball, you think there was going to be a goal, right? And then just heartbreak for Bachoore. And you could see the frustration on the player cam from him as well. And now he's giving the ball away again.
Well, this could be even worse. Look at Mbappe. Look at the pace to just drive away. The angle could be quite tight. It's 3-1. And it's just terrible from Thibaut Courtois there. It's an awful animation that is just allowed the ball to trickle in from Mbappe, but it all came down from just getting into a 1v1 situation where Mbappe could just charge at the defence and just force you into a trap or an area of confusion. ManuBachoore will not want to rewatch those last 5 in-game minutes again, Dan.
Bachoore needs to slow this one down. He's under pressure and he's feeling it at the moment. He needs to just play his own game, not play the actual occasion in front of him, because he has given away 2 opportunities for AbuMakkah, and it could be another one here, almost.
Pause the game. Absolutely, ManuBachoore. Pause the game and have just a second to yourself.
Have a breather, please.
You saw that on the replay there, though, Dan. I don't know how he's done it. He did a great job of giving Toni Kroos the job of trying to chase Mbappe, which we all know who's going to win that race. He got him into a foot race, was able to pull away. It was too late for Konate, and it was just about making a decision. Did he want to go for a comeback? Did he go for the finish? Don't get me wrong, it was so fortunate, but there's more action underway, isn't there, Dan?
Yeah, Bonanno's just taken the lead against Webb Nasri, and that would be Webb Nasri eliminated from this competition. His key crushed if he were to lose against Bonanno, and then Bonanno would move on to play the loser of this matchup, again, for a qualification spot into the knockout stages, into that last 8, and for a guaranteed $50,000. Now, the Falcons fans have been loving every moment of this. AbuMakkah has been on the main stage a lot this tournament, and for good reason. He's had the support, and he's kept these fans smiling all tournament long. But they want to be here tomorrow. They want someone to be screaming and shouting about, and AbuMakkah, he's on his way right now, but we know full well ManuBachoore is a player that even if it looks like he's down and out, he has the capability to get back into these games.
Quick corner to come in. Haaland is there. It wasn't 4. Thibaut Courtois, it could be 4. Still very much could be. Seems that pause has not done too much as of yet there for Manu. Time just to get on the ball and get back into your groove. Back to your point there about Bonanno and Webb Nasri, the loser of the game, would be our 7th player eliminated here. With just one more elimination spot looming for one of the final 3 players. Could still be one of these 2 that would be leaving the tournament. The loser of this would then go and play the winner of Bonanno Webb Nasri, which as it stands looks to be Bonanno. Only early stages in that game, a long time still to be played. Again, Mbappe, it's all coming through him. Just getting into those areas where he can just pull away.
Really is a night and day difference from the start of this game, by the way, when Bachoore took the lead and he was so aggressive.
Has R9 got the legs to get around the goalkeeper? He does. And sometimes it doesn't need to be fancy. Just one long ball over the top, get into a foot race, which, to be honest, I didn't think R9 was going to win. Back in the tie, he needed that desperately.
And just as I was saying, night and day difference. He was so aggressive at the start of the game, but maybe lacked some of the risks he was taking. He decides to flip the script a little bit, up the ante, and he very much sped up that play with that ball. On the counter-attack, AbuMakkah had so much control. And maybe that's something that Bachoore can kind of bounce off of here. He knows AbuMakkah is going to play this kind of game where he slowly builds up, passes it around, goes down the wing, and then aims for the middle.
Did very well there, just to squeeze that through the tightest of gaps there. Lofted in, Haaland. Can he find a cut back? Or even a shot on goal? Just enough, John Stones there, just to off-settle his teammate in Erling Haaland. Big switch could be on far-hand side of your screen. See Hosslu there all the way across. It's another option. John Stones against John Stones. Possession has fell back to 2023 world champion ManuBachoore. His fans still pushing on their player in AbuMakkah. Can Mbappe force a decision? Force a mistake?
I like the attempt of a touch as well, just trying to get that extra little bit of space with Erling Haaland. Bachoore just trying to pull as much as he can from his playbook to try and break through AbuMakkah here. And there's plenty of time, that's the good thing here. It's not like he has to rush anything, he can try a few different things here.
Inside Kai Havertz. It's all coming down this left-hand side. It's getting into a 1v1 here, or choosing the right pass. Vitinha can't dive in. Manu must try and stand strong, or at least make the right decision when to dive in. That one could have went desperately wrong. Mbappe still Vitinha, power shots! It's brilliant! The timing made all the difference in the end. And the gap extends to what it was. ManuBachoore with all the chasing to do against AbuMakkah.
I love this game. Goals like that just truly makes you love this game. It makes you want to jump into the action and play it yourself. And I'm sure there's no feeling like it to do it in front of a crowd as well. AbuMakkah really, honestly reminds me his gameplay of Mr. Dunn back in the day, with his passing move, always looking for this tiki-taka football. But then as soon as there's that gap, as soon as he sees that moment to strike, he is more than happy to take that chance. And now he has a 2-goal lead reinstated.
What's more impressive as well, Dan, is that there's only, I believe, one other player that chooses Vitinha, Team Falcons player as well, MS Dasari, and he's in the team for that power shot. You don't always need to use it. You might use it once or twice. You might even use it once every 3 games. If you can time it right, it's just another trick up the sleeve of AbuMakkah.
AbuMakkah looks twice the player today than he has in previous games. The trouble was, what happened yesterday is he would take a 4x lead and then he would just slow down. He's not slowing down, he's not letting up. He did the same against Web Nasri. As soon as Web Nasri got one back, AbuMakkah continued to play the way he wanted to play the game. I'm gonna go at my opponent. I know I'm good enough to break through. And he's so difficult to defend against. You can see Bachoore struggling at times to keep up with the pace of play.
That should do us for the half-time interval between the two, just 1 minute. Just looking here as well, Dan, on the last 3 group games that AbuMakkah played, he didn't win any of his last 3 group games. He was coming into this resurrection with no confidence at all. Lost against Emre Yilmaz today, 4-0. His last 2 matches of yesterday was a 6-4 loss against Jafonzo and a 4-3 defeat against Mark 11. Confidence was lacking, but you're right to say he's really got up a gear or two. What's happening over in this game now? Web Nasri, Dan. We said he's got one thing up his sleeve, a corner.
I'd love to see more highlights of Web Nasri's games from the group stages, because I feel like a lot of his goals came from corners, because boy, is he accurate. Pinpoint accuracy every single time onto Haaland's head, and he takes his time as well. Really lines it up.
Well, he beat Johnny 7-1 earlier today. I reckon there's got to be at least 3 or 4 corners in that game that he scored on the way through. Update over here again. It wasn't just smiles to Web Nasri. Mathias Bonanno getting back 2-1. That is an elimination game that we must speak about the importance of it.
Well, back underway in the second half then between AbuMakkah and ManuBachoore, and I've loved what I've seen so far from AbuMakkah. But there is always that question mark looming of, what does Bachoore have up his sleeve? What's his plan B here?
Just needs to try and get back into the tie before he can really start playing the way he wants to. He's sort of forced into a scenario where he has to continuously chase the game. Mbappe, 2 or 3 Team Falcon just chasing him. That's brilliant. Just did well there to suck two defenders out with Mbappe, then recycle back round. Haaland then has an option and the room to manoeuvre a finesse time green into the bottom corner.
Yeah, I think Bachoore has realised that he can play a little bit more offensively in the final third and doesn't have to retreat to the wings, doesn't have to play the crosses, because AbuMakkah is allowing him just that little bit extra room to think about those passes. I mean, both players have been doing it. They've been stepping off defensively, almost encouraging the pressure. And that does invite a very heavy play start.
3-on-2 here maybe, Dan. Back post, crying out for a cross. Stick goes back to Toni Kroos. He might just run on his own.
Got to hit that there, surely.
Could have done a bit more there. You'd like to think there was two players, three at the back post. I know they weren't aerial plus players, but they still were good enough to finish or at least touch the ball down and get a strike on goal.
Great defending there from Bachoore again. It was a one-on-one. AbuMakkah had a chance with Mbappe, but Bachoore stood him up.
Lofted in. I like the idea. It was trying to find the head of Haaland. I mean, Cruyff did win the header, to be fair to him. Chance to break offside is Mbappe. See the speed of both of these two. On the counter-attack, it is relentless.
Mbappe's come all the way back here, by the way. Now needs to hope he triggers that run. You can already see Mbappe was making it.
You're asking a lot there. Kai Havertz to chase down Hosselu.
Oh dear. Those are the ones that hurt, because those are the ones that open up these counter-attacks.
One more pass. Does he need to go? Cruyff looking for a finesse. It's a corner that goes the way of AbuMakkah. Quickly taken. You know where it's going to end up. Mbappe back on defensive duties. Another corner to come the way of AbuMakkah again. Taken so quickly. That's why. You simply cannot stop it. And for all the hard work that ManuBachoore is trying to put into this game and trying to chase the tie, what can you do in those scenarios, Dan? You give away a corner, it's a 50-50 every time. You're flipping a coin, and unfortunately, it lands on heads more than tails, and it's normally Haaland's head.
You said it yourself, you need a buffer, because these goals, they feel like they're inevitable at times. Like Richard Buckley said earlier, the cheesecake at the buffet, it's inevitable for him, and it's inevitable for the goals from Haaland from these corners. But the only way to stop him is just score more of them yourself. And I think that Bachoore, even though he's been able to play a brilliant pass and move game in the box, maybe that shot could have happened with Toni Kroos, because worst case scenario, deflection, gets a corner of his own, right? But FC players, they always want to try and up their percentage of trying to score in play. But it's almost trying to get out of that habit when corners are so successful right now in this meta.
Bottom side of your screen, so much space there. Hosselu can get the switch, there it is. Clever pass, Mbappe, he's gone back into the hole, Haaland. Basically a repeat of the goal we just saw from Manu.
Yep. And when you look at how Bachoore is being able to just pick apart AbuMakkah's defence, you do wonder, will AbuMakkah start to sweat a little bit as this gets to the latter stages of this game? It's a direct pass right into the middle of the box for Mbappe, and then he was just looking, he was waiting for Haaland to be in some sort of space. And sadly for AbuMakkah, he wasn't quick enough to be able to react to it. Not many would be quick enough to react to that, to be completely honest. And so ManuBachoore back into this game. But it was similarly to what happened, it almost feels identical to the game against Web Nasri earlier. Web Nasri would get one back, and then AbuMakkah would respond straight away. So we'll have to see if history's going to repeat itself again.
And you just saw there in the other game as well, Bernardo 2-1 against Web Nasri. That's an elimination game. One of those two being eliminated here. Oh no, it's a corner again for AbuMakkah.
Here we go.
We know where this one's going to end up. In it comes, there's Haaland, tipped over the bar by Courtois. Haaland again will get another chance at it. It goes all the way through. Vitinha with a gift Unfortunately enough, Virgil van Dijk just had the body frame to get in the way.
I mean, that could have been 6-4. If Haaland just gets a little bit of a touch on it, it's going in, but ManuBachoore needs to see that as a sign now of, I can get back into this game. I've regained possession. I'm only a goal down. This is my chance.
Off the ball, goes all the way through, Stones. Haaland only one goal behind. Is ManuBachoore. 9 goals we've seen in under 70 minutes of this game. Saka, pass 1, 2, 3. Massive tackle there from Konate that comes all the way across. Kai Havertz. Lovely from ManuBachoore.
I mean, it is beautiful, really, when ManuBachoore gets going. I mean, both players putting on a display for us here. You just feel like it could be one mistake, one player just stepping up a little bit too much.
Maybe like we're just seeing here, it's an easy cut back! And it all comes from that 50-50 battle. I don't know if you saw it, Kai Havertz came out. It was a low percentage chance that he was going to win the ball. Suddenly meant that Virgil van Dijk had to basically become a left-back. Next thing you know, space appears down, as you mentioned. It's an easy cut across. It's a clever pass. And it's now a 2-goal cushion again that AbuMakkah seemingly always gets into these scenarios where he's always in front and his opponent's just chasing him.
Oh, just that lunge there as well from Konate, I think it was. Just meant that there was another defender out of position. Both of these guys are so good at taking advantage of any minor mistake or what might not even be your mistake. It could be an AI mistake. As soon as there's that gap, both of them seize the opportunity and they punish you for it. And AbuMakkah reinstates that 2-goal lead now, and time suddenly is not really on ManuBachoore's side here. He needs to make this possession count. I know we have 9-minute halves. Also elsewhere, Wed Nasri ties us up. He's not down and out just yet. There is still life in that one.
Wed Nasri, 2-2 in that game. Back over to ManuBachoore. Haaland will turn, he'll score 3. He's so good at isolating that movement of Erling Haaland. Forget the headers for now, Dan. Game on again, and there is still 15 in-game minutes left.
If you're an FC purist, right, and you like football, this has been a brilliant game, because both players have demonstrated how to just pass and move and take space accordingly. But it's hard to decide who's been the better player. I mean, a couple of corners going in favour of AbuMakkah has really given him the advantage here in what has been just flooded full of goals in this game. But now, as I said, in that possession, we had to see him get a goal, and he did. Speaking of goals, it's Bonano taking the lead in the 54th minute.
Wow, Weghorst of all people coming on there, potentially keeping Bonano alive in the Esports World Cup. Featuring FC 24. Remember, loser of that's eliminated. The winner of this game qualifies to the top 8 tomorrow. And you will be rewarded with a matchup against Nicholas. ManuBachoore, what a chance this is. Frimpong, fresh off the bench. Is there a cutback? There it is! Oh, he's done so well just to shift it from left to right. It's the star boy, Bukayo Saka. Tying it all up. And for the first time in this one, he is back in the tie. Actually, he's always been in the chasing scenario where he's been 1 or 2 goals down. 6-6.
I mean, what a game this has been. If you're not entertained from this one, I don't know what will entertain you. This has had absolutely everything. And what I love is it hasn't been a complete corner fest, right? Both these players have been breaking open their opponent's defense. And when Frimpong has this much space, it's just a matter of looking. Where's the pass? Where's the player? And he saw Saka with just a little bit of room, and one of the benefits of having that Saka item, he's so quick with the ball at his feet, you can just get that shot away. Just like real life, one of the best players in the world. Scored today as well in real life, just might add.
I don't think you support Arsenal, do you, Dan?
Nah, just a Saka fan.
Wolves fan, weren't you?
I was a Wolves fan seeing them lose, but Amazing to see this game go to 6-6 now as we go into the final 10 minutes.
Big sub as well that came in and made a big mark there was that 99 rated Frimpong item. Update over here, Webb Nasri. What on earth is that for a goal?
I love it. Webb Nasri just always finds a different way to get that ball in the back of the net. Like I said, it was all training ground stuff from him. And he's really been picking apart his opponents.
This would be huge as well for ManuBachoore. Always been down in this game, never been in front. Can it change now? Haaland will shift onto his right boot. Unfortunately enough, the deflection there for the defender just took the sting out of the shot. Can really feel where the momentum's gone now.
And this is where pressure comes into the equation. I feel like you mentioned those 3 back-to-back games that AbuMakkah lost. He was in cruise control. It was looking like he was going to qualify for knockouts from groups, and then he just lost one after the other, where maybe that expectation on his shoulders became a little bit too much. Is this going to be the same scenario here? Or can he put this game to bed, maybe with this attack?
Pull it. Clever pass. There's the knockdown on a play. Massive save. Thibaut Courtois may have just been the hero, but he has to stop this corner because we know where it's headed. Goes all the way through again for a second time in a row there. Has the composure to play out from that scenario. That's twice now, Dan, that Haaland has not even got anything on that cross.
Get him off. Get someone from the bench. He's not doing his job. Peter Crouch, bring him in, 2 meter Peter, but more impressively, the composure you spoke about from Bachoore at the back. But speaking of, he's giving the ball away.
Is he building in for this last attack now, AbuMakkah? A win here would send him into the final 8 tomorrow. Into a quarter-final. And really amongst the prize pool, the $1 million prize pool, which this EA FC tournament does offer. 300k will be going to one lucky player tomorrow. Taking all the time he needs. Added time to follow any second now. How much will it be? It's 3 minutes. We might see 1 or 2 attacks.
Well, this is very much his game plan. I was going to say it might be quite a long time to hold on for the last attack. This is a risky ball, by the way.
He's going to keep that in. No, he's not. He's won the ball. 3 minutes valid time. Back to you, ManuBachoore.
I mean, that's frustrating. AbuMakkah, all he wanted was the last attack. And then the switch of play is not quite good enough. And now Bachoore can do exactly what he's just done to him. Will AbuMakkah regret not going forward a little bit sooner?
A fresh Frimpong with all the pace in the world. And Mbappe might have the legs to pull away there. Can he outsmart Virgil van Dijk, Alphonso Davies, all amongst it? It's about moving it into the centre of the pitch now. Look at the runs of Haaland. R9 just pinning the defenders, waiting for a ball to maybe come through. This will be the last chance of the tie, or not. I think we could be on our way to extra time. Yes, we will. 30 more in-game minutes needed.
A 12-goal thriller, Brandon. Sends us into extra time, and AbuMakkah, I mean, how is he going to be feeling? This game was in his hands. He had a 2-goal lead several times. But for Bachoore, he shows the resilience of a champion. By the way, Bonanno versus Webb Nasri, a 4th goal for Bonanno as he takes the lead. And Webb Nasri could be on his way home, but every time we've said that, suddenly we flash back to another replay and Webb Nasri's found another goal.
Yeah, page out of Nicholas's book, I think that finish there. Just going down the byline and someone getting through the goalkeeper's legs. Well, 12 goals or 90 minutes wasn't enough to separate these two. 30 more minutes might just do that. If not, it will be dreaded penalties. I could even argue a $50,000 penalty shootout to determine who's going to be going through. Webb Nasri!
What did I say?
I tell you what, as this tournament unfolds, you are getting more and more confident. Back to our main featured game. AbuMakkah makes it 7-6.
This tournament reminds me of Bucharest, and you'll know what I mean by that. And so will a lot of members in this community, where we had absolute goal fests. But the goals I'm seeing being scored here by some of these players, where they're just able to absolutely carve apart their opponent's defence.
It just was a bit like Bucharest as well, that buffet, wasn't it? A bit of this, a bit of that, a corner,
a finesse,
a power shot.
everything you could want.
You could have everything. You could fill your play, and you could go again. This is where extra time's been for us.
There's just so many ways you can score, and it's terrifying to try and defend here. As AbuMakkah is ahead again.
Quick word on Webb Nasri as well, Dan. It's getting better as the tournament's gone on. As the games have got more difficult, we're seeing an unbelievable player. ManuBachoore lofts it into Haaland, who can't win that battle.
Well defended. Yeah, Webb Nasri, I mean, yes, he scored a lot of, corners that we've seen, free kicks, finding Haaland's head, but it's that moment of magic in the box where suddenly he starts to feel a little bit spicy and decides he's going to pull out all the skills, and I think his opponent gets surprised by it. And that's exactly what happened to Bonanno as they're tied up now in that game. And we, of course, wait for more updates. And I can't wait. I'm eagerly awaiting that update, as maybe it could be extra time in that one as well.
Pass has to be perfect there from Mbappe. Oh no, and about 2 or 3 players around him. Nearly 10 minutes already gone to the extra time period. Remember, the winner of this goes into the top 8 tomorrow to play Nicholas. And a match that's worth $40,000 extra dollars. You win that, you get $90,000 guaranteed to be in the top 4.
AbuMakkah just needs to be careful with some of these switches. It happened just before the final whistle previously. Tries to target that left-hand side. But it is going to work out this time, and he's got a lot of space.
Davies around the corner. AbuMakkah, massive chance now to go into the half-time break with that familiar 2-goal cushion again. There's Mbappe. Can he buy his time or dodge or dive? A few tackles. Haaland, what a save. It should go out for a goal kick, and it will.
Great innovation, though. Again, trying something a little bit different, trying to surprise Bachoore. There's been a goal, though. Bonanno takes the lead in the 84th minute against Webb Nasri. Does Webb Nasri have one last magic trick for us?
He'll be thinking, surely no more from Webb Nasri there. 16 game minutes left, but you never know. Look at Mbappe, bottom right side of your screen there. Just rushed it slightly there, AbuMakkah.
And that happens sometimes when you see those runs being made. You just want to play that pass. And sometimes you're a little bit quicker. Your brain's quicker than your fingers.
Saka. Oh, no, not. Haaland all involved in that attack. Added time of 1 minute. If he can win the ball back now, Bachoore, you'd have one more attack, or instead of that, AbuMakkah, far hand side. Is he on, Alphonso Davies? Yes, he was. Half time, 50 minutes away, Dan, from confirming potentially our 7th of 8 into our quarter-final stages here.
You mentioned earlier as well, Bachoore and Bonanno, they'd played each other like 15 minutes earlier, whatever it was. An hour and 15 minutes earlier. They could be playing each other again here in this elimination bracket if this score and the score in the Webb Nasri-Bonanno game stays the same. I mean, I know it's best of 1 here in Esports World Cup featuring EA FC, but that one is going to feel like a best of 3, best of 5 as you keep playing the same player. But there's still time for Bachoore here. But it is AbuMakkah who holds the lead going into the break here with 15 minutes left of in-game time. Now, with it being 9-minute halves, there is a little bit more wiggle room here. Maybe a few attacks for Bachoore to work with, but it just depends on how AbuMakkah approaches this one. If he can hold on to possession, if he can eat away at that clock a little bit. But we have seen that bite him in the backside a couple of times already this tournament.
Well, we should be getting an update as well on the other game. Any second now, really, of what is going on. Is it a full-time result with Bonanno? Has he gotten through? Has Webb Nasri been eliminated? We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure there'll be a Haaland header that will come up in about 30 seconds and Webb Nasri would have equalised again. 15 in-game minutes. ManuBachoore, back to you, my friend. What can you show us from here? John Stones taking matters into his own hands. Oh, what a ball. Cut-back angle just wasn't there.
Here's where we're going to learn a lot now from AbuMakkah and how he approaches this particular possession. Does he go forward? Does he look to score? Or is he just going to try and eat away at time? It looks like he wants to try and kill this game off.
You see the subs that he made as well. Hansen comes on as well. I believe Footy's recent upgrade as well will come onto the pitch to try and shake things up. Certainly will freshen up the attack. One idea, that could have been for a through ball. Instead it goes to Bukayo Saka. Where's that pass? Mbappe must score. What a block, Van Dijk.
What a block. That's so huge from Van Dijk as match finished. Confirmation. Bonano will be moving through to the next round of this particular resurrection stage, and Webb Nasri will be eliminated and his key will be crushed. But what a tournament it's been from Webb Nasri. Take your hat off to that man, because he's put on a show.
Absolutely. Again, many, I think, expected him to maybe not get past the group stages. He went even further than that, getting his biggest payday in his esports career so far. I'm sure we'll be seeing that man again. Commiserations, Webb Nasri leaves the competition. That's player number 7 that's been eliminated here for the original 60. What a ball that is, Hansen. All the time in the world for ManuBachoore. Has to score. What a save, Penchek. How on earth has he got there?
I mean, the goalkeeper movement from AbuMakkah actually opened up the gap, encouraged the shot, but I still didn't think that a keeper would be able to get back. But check, this particular item of check is incredible, and now this could be the final nail in the coffin.
Game, set, and match. Bukayo Saka, it's all on you. Oh, that could have been disastrous.
AbuMakkah, he's just given away the perfect chance to get through to this next round.
Thought that was going to be an own goal there, potentially from Konate. Corner comes in, play short. He needs to be smart in possession now. Doesn't need to go and really score again. Of course, it would be welcome, but look after possession. It's $50,000 on the line, and the space in the top 8 tomorrow. I can assure you there'll be a huge outpour of an emotion. Don't know, Saudi fans, if their Team Falcons representative can get over the line. 1 minute, probably about 1 minute of added time as well added if they're lucky. Is he going to try and get one more goal? No, he's not. Very mature with these last couple of in-game seconds, Dan.
Got to hold on to it. It's only 1 minute of added on time. Bachoore now needs to just dive on in and try and win this ball back.
Clever, very clever indeed. AbuMakkah, top 8 in the FC Pro World Championship, top 8 in the Esports World Cup featured FC 24. What a year and what a season the Saudi Arabian is having.
And what a moment it is for him as well, in front of the fans as he salutes. He's put on a show, and those fans can